good timing because Keith Ismael, starting center for the Aztecs, jumping on with us right now ahead of this Weber State Showdown Sky Show this weekend coming up this Saturday. Talking about nasty offensive linemen here, we were talking about Quentin Nelson with the Colts right now. Keith, I've described you that way many times. What are we gonna see in the trenches this year? Little different looking offense. How's it coming along?
It's coming along good. It's a little bit different. We're lining up the box, but it's still going to be smash mouth football when we come downhill on our opponents, just like we've always done.
Does it mean anything different for you, Keith? Is this a dumb question? I mean, you had a pro-style offense a year ago, quarterback under center most of the time. This year you'll be snapping out of a shotgun formation. What does that mean for you? How do things change for you?
It's definitely been a slight transition. I've been working all offseason on getting my snaps right and just getting my technique changing a little bit from going under center to in the gun. But nothing's going to change. Play's still going to be the same, coming downhill, punching dudes in the mouth.
As a redshirt freshman 2 years ago, second-team All-Conference. Last year, redshirt sophomore, first-team All-Conference. Keith, you've been dominant out there. One of the things we talked to Rocky Long about this spread offense, he thinks it's going to make it easier for you guys on the offensive line to sort of figure out who it is that you're supposed to block. Have you seen differences running the spread in practice as far as your blocking duties are concerned?
Well, we just got our fall camp, and so we've been going against the Aztec defense a lot. And everybody knows that defense is really tough. All the stunts they run, different formations. But when we get into base looks, it's definitely probably going to be a little bit easier. Lining up the box, like I said, getting our linemen in better one-on-one situations, able to sink into doubles longer, and not having to come off with, downhill looks when there's 8, 9, 10 people in the box. It's a little difficult for 5 people to block 8 or 9.
When you change an offense wholesale, like you guys have this offseason, as a group, not specifying any position in general, but as a group, what's the biggest hurdle to clear?
That's a good question. It's a little bit, we're not huddling anymore, so it's a little bit more fast-paced, and so we just have to really be on our cues and knowing what we need to do and how to do it.
So staying locked in, like everybody on the same page, a lot more maybe nonverbal communication at the line of scrimmage?
Yeah, it's a lot more, you got to really tune in and hear the call because we're not huddling, so we got to get up to the line, ID the front, get the call from the sideline, make sure everybody's on the same page and roll with it. It's real fast.
How much does this benefit the quarterbacks being out of the spread formation? Like, is this more comfortable for Ryan Agnew entering the year?
I think so. A lot of our quarterbacks came from spread offenses in high school, so I think getting back to this and getting them in their, natural, I guess you could say, habitat is definitely probably going to benefit them a little bit more now.
Keith, talk about the transition from guard to center. I mean, something you've done since you've been at San Diego State. The challenges of the center position, are they more to your liking? Compare the differences, maybe some of the similarities at guard and center.
Well, you still got to be nasty at both positions. Of course, one position you have to be able to snap and step, and the center is a really key, important role in the offense. I have to make the calls, get all the linemen on the same page. I'm basically just as important as the quarterback, so that's a lot of responsibility, but I've taken that role upon myself, taking that responsibility, which I like, to lead and to take control of it. A guard, it's a little bit more free, and you have a little bit more freedom to do things, but I like center. You get to be the focal point, and you really hold it all down.
Yeah, I was always more comfortable playing center because I sort of felt in control of the offense. Like, I knew where I was going. I knew where everybody was going. So it just, I don't know, I found comfort in that. Do you feel similarly?
I do. I know all 5 positions, what they're doing and how they should do it. So it makes me feel more comfortable and sure, when we run the plays.
And then sticking with the offensive line, defensive line battle, actually the whole front 7 at practice, you go against Chiava Tizzino, obviously. He had a tremendous year last year. But this defensive front, a lot of new faces showing up in front of you at practice, guys who the fans haven't gotten a great opportunity to see a lot of so far. Up front, who's some of the tougher defensive line on this Aztec football team to block?
Keyshawn Banks is an up-and-coming player. He's He's a great pass rusher, has a high motor. Cam Thomas, a local guy from Carlsbad. He's got good strength, long arms, high motor. He's always going on 100. He doesn't have any other levels, so I'm excited to see how those young guys step up this year.
What type of year do you expect for Juwan Washington?
What was that?
What type of season do you expect for Juwan?
Man, the best. 2,000 yards, Heisman Trophy, of course.
There it is. I like it. And by the way, I don't know if you know this, I
nothing
have a
less.
Heisman vote,
Nothing
so
less.
I'm going to. I love it. Hey, Keith, it was obviously a very disappointing finish for the Aztecs. I mean, you've had nothing but success since you've been at San Diego State. I know that Rocky Long made it clear after the season we need to sort of evaluate everything within our program. What's it been like for the players? They're coming back from that disappointing finish and your motivation for the new season.
It was definitely tough. This last offseason was probably one of the toughest off seasons I've had here. But we were just really trying to get our culture back. We were really trying to get our grit back and get back to the way we used to do things, and that's win championships and be the toughest team on the field. So the coaches really put work into us and players. It was real locker room driven, and so really pushed all of each other to be the best that we could so we can be the best on the field.
Well, we wish you the best on the field. Very excited for this weekend's game Saturday against Weber State, followed by KGB Sky Show. Keith Ismael, the starting center of these Aztecs. We wish you great health, Keith, and we'll be watching you throughout the year.
Thank you. Thank you.